Are we supposed to carry the camera online? No,
Yeah,
not this. For today's meeting, do we need to hold that? Like, we are not supposed to do any settings today, right?
yeah,
It's all
that's
going to
right.
be tomorrow.
In this meeting, we will just talk about the camera settings and whatever the questions around. If
Right.
anything besides camera settings, we can discuss that as well. So mostly it will be
Okay.
camera settings. So we will save time. So we can start
Yeah, that'll be
without
better.
any delay.
Right.
No, okay. I see Sami also joined. So hello, Sami.
हेलो सुमित जी, how are you?
I'm fine. Welcome back.
हाँ जी, आप बताइए।
So you finally joined. So last time you said that you will join street photography.
हाँ यार, मुझे करना था बट फिर वो टाइम शेड्यूल मैच नहीं हुआ एंड देन आई जस्ट वेंट आउट, सो फिर थोड़ा कुछ डेज मैं बाहर ही था।
There is one more participant, Rishikesh. So he has some questions around 28 mm lens. So let him join.
Okay.
He said he will join it after 5 minutes.
Okay. So we can wait, I believe, right?
Okay. Meantime, at least we can start with introduction. So I just want to know. I know your name now. So I need to know the which camera you have, what are the lens options you have, and what is your
Okay.
what are your plans? So Rishikesh also joined at the right time. So hello Rishikesh.
Hi.
Yeah. So we just started introduction. So I saw your message that you said that you will join after 5 minutes. So thank you for joining early.
No problem. No problem. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Yeah, all fine.
Okay. All good. All good.
So, like I do in all workshops, so I start with the introduction. So I ask Sheetal to start. So
Okay. I have
I
this
just need to the
Nikon. Yeah, that's good. So it's
yeah.
just about the camera that I need to
Yeah.
let you know, right?
Yeah.
So I have this Nikon 3500, I believe. I don't remember which one it was, but I have around 55 mm this lens.
Okay. So is it 55 mm or 1855? Usually we get kit
It's
lens.
1855 mm camera.
That's
Yeah,
a kit
that's
lens.
right.
Okay, so you only have this lens.
Yeah, I do have just this lens because I'm just
That'll
I
work.
don't I'm not any yeah.
That'll work. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, and what about your overall experience or how long you are doing photography? So, anything
I would call
past?
myself just a beginner at the moment, so I keep on doing these trials. Wherever I travel, I carry my camera with me. So eventually, it's like just not to that extent, I would call. I don't have too much of expertise in terms of the composition settings and all. But however, still learning. It's a part of the learning curve at the moment. Yeah.
That will be great. So, Amod, you can tell about yourself.
Yeah, hi, everyone. So I'm actually again a very amateur photographer. I used to have Canon 600D DSLR, but recently I bought the Fujifilm X-S20 camera, and I have the Sigma 18 to 50 2.8 f2.8 lens essentially, which I'm planning to use tomorrow. I also have a 56 mm 1.4 and 35 mm f2 lens from Fuji itself.
Options.
Yeah.
What is your plan for tomorrow? Which lens you are planning to bring?
I am planning to use the 1850 because I think it will give
a good range.
Good range essentially. Yeah. So that's the plan.
Rishikesh, what about you? Camera, lenses.
So from a camera perspective, I own a Leica Q2 monochrome. Okay. So it's a black and white one. I've had it for nearly 2 years now. Been experimenting with it for a long time, but I'm not able to get that contrast feel that I should be getting. So a bit frustrated with the pictures that I click. I want them to be more sharper, and that's why I bought this lens, this Q2 monochrome in a way. I'm an amateur photographer. I like capturing streets. I have my Instagram page, Poetic Shades of Black and White. It goes by that handle, but it is very sporadic. So once in a while, once in 3 months, I will just walk out and I will try to capture, do the best, and then come back. I'm a working professional, so don't get much time in it. I want to learn more about the triangle, the ISO, shutter speed, and
exposure triangle.
what is the other one? The exposure triangle. That is what I want to learn more about, and I want to get more contrasty feel in the black and white photography that I do.
Definitely, you will get it. I will make sure you will get it. So you are carrying
it's a 28 mm lens.
Yeah, that's
So-
fine.
Yeah, it's a wide angle.
Lens is never a restriction in street photography. In any
Right.
lens we can carry in street photography, we have to adjust ourselves according to lens. So lens
Okay.
cannot be a restriction in street photography, but we have to adjust ourselves. We will discuss in more
Right.
detail in the workshop also. So if
Right.
you for example, you are carrying 28 mm. So in 28 mm, I can give you example of just a very, we can say, contrastive example, that if I'm carrying a 300 mm lens and you are carrying 28 mm, so I may be having liberty to zoom in. I may not need to go near to my subject. I can manage it from some distance also. But for you to get similar quality and frame, you may have to be very near to close to your subject.
That's right.
So you will get that same quality.
Yeah, I've overcome that fear now. So I get into people's faces at times, so they don't mind. I smile at them and click the photograph. But yeah, it's a work in progress.
Yeah, definitely. So whatever the challenge, whatever the problem you are facing, or whatever the things you feel that they are missing in your photos, we will discuss in more detail. With the practical, we will have better understanding.
Right, absolutely. Looking forward to that.
Definitely. So Sami, what about you? So what is your camera? What lens you are bringing?
So I own this Panasonic Lumix hybrid camera, and it has 35 mm lens. But yeah, since it is hybrid, it has good zoom power as well.
Okay, so 35 mm. What aperture it supports? The widest.
2.8.
Great. So whoever having a lens where it supports 2.8 or below, so they will have a, we can say, advantage to work in low light. So when we are working in low light condition, we always look for a lens where we call that fast lens. Fast lens, when we say, it means they are supporting aperture like 1.8, 2.8, 2, so whatever. Around that,
mine is
smallest.
Mine is 1.7, I think.
Yeah, that will great. That will be great. So you have 28 mm, and on top of it you have 1.7. So you have really good advantage on everyone else, that you will have better opportunity to get good quality photos even in low light conditions. Sheetal may struggle. I will tell that you may see that the quality of the photos may not be as good as others, but you will have idea about it, that once you get that we can say the equipment, when you have that equipment where it supports good low light photography, then you will be in a position that you can use it well. Instead of doing trial and errors, you will be more ready with that. So tomorrow
the time to upgrade.
yes, you will feel that the thing which where others are easily doing that, you will feel that I'm struggling, but never mind it, because it's something device limitation. So we can't overcome that device limitation. We have to upgrade. So that's a sign that's the time we have to upgrade. So it happened to everyone, including me. I also faced similar things when I was starting all this photography, where I was facing problem, where my zoom lens was not having liberty to go below f5.6, like 300 mm. So I was struggling in low light condition. Then I purchased my prime lenses. Mostly they supports 1.8 aperture, mostly in prime lenses. So I have my macro lens that also supports 2.8. So all these things, when I have those we can say that equipments, and I tested and did all that practice in low light condition, then I came to know that yes, that was something missing, and now I can see the quality also improving. So you will also see, but
I'll get a chance to experiment tomorrow.
Your target will be to learn how to compose well, And
Right.
lighting you
Right.
will manage with the help of ISO. So
Okay. Sounds
exposure
cool.
triangle,
Yeah.
Rishikesh is talking about exposure triangle. So we will talk about lot of these shutter speed, aperture, and ISO. How
Yeah.
we have to
Yeah.
control that exposure triangle. We have to balance the exposure in our frames. So irrespective, whatever the lens, whatever the device, we will try to achieve similar results in all. But
Oh.
again,
Okay.
depends on the lens. We may have to adjust our distance with the subject.
Got
Tomorrow
it. Yeah.
I'm carrying a 24 120 lens, because 50 lens I'm going to use for the video. Recently I bought a new camera, Nikon Z6 II. So I'm going to test it tomorrow for the video.
Okay. That's something even we will get to, view like how are the picture qualities and all that
Yes.
stuff. So
Yeah. So all these things we will cover, and about the camera settings, let's talk about it. So as I said, we will talk about exposure triangle, but we should have a same base, we can say, settings for the camera. So we will start our camera settings with some basic settings, like the aperture will be wide open. Whatever the aperture your lens supports, we have to go with the widest one, because in the morning we will have low light, that will struggle with the lighting condition. So we have to start with the widest aperture. We will boost the ISO to around 800 something. In
mhm.
shadow days, or in the low light condition, we start with ISO somewhere around 400 800. So we have to play around the ISO. And shutter speed we will keep around 1 by 250 at least, because to freeze journal motions, like people walking, we need a shutter speed of 1 by 250 at least. If we go below that, you will feel that little bit of movement, and it will show blurry. You will see that movement not showing, we can say, as a freeze. So they'll show blur. Any motion in your photo, it will show blur if you are on the shutter speed below 1 by 250. So we have to be on the 1 by 250 or above shutter speed. But if our subject is still, they are not doing much movement, like if we are asking people to give portrait, we can go to lower shutter speed also, according to our lens. So whatever the lens we are using, we have to have our shutter speed reciprocal of the lens. Like the 50 we will have shutter speed of 1 by 60. For 35 again we can go below to 1 by 50 also. So all depends that your camera, your lens supports image stabilization, vibration reduction, all that feature helps to go below our, we can say that, recommended shutter speed, like for the focal length, whatever the lens we are using, accordingly we have to adjust our shutter speed. But for someone's still giving a pose, we can go below that also. And street photography is all about creating a frame, creating a, I can say that, story kind of composition. And when we are creating a story kind of composition, it means we are covering some good depth of field. So depth of field is something, if we are focusing on a subject, some part behind, some part in front will be in focus, and the rest of the things will start going out of focus. So where we are focusing, we have to make sure that we are getting that amount of depth, that much amount of depth of field to cover our frame composition, whatever the scene we are trying to capture. And you can download depth of field calculator in your mobile. If you haven't heard about, you can search in the Google Play Store or Apple iStore. That Apple Store, you can also find that DOF calculator or depth of field calculator. So you can search it, you can download that. So in that, we have to just feed in our focal length, what the aperture we are using, and the distance between the subject and the camera. All three parameters decides the depth of field. So like as I said, that with your kit lens, you have to be very close to your subject with the full zoom to compress the depth of field. When we are trying to compress the depth of field, we have to be on the full maximum focal length and with the nearest possible distance to our subject. The distance decides the depth of field also. So these are the three, we can say, factors, parameters which decide depth of field. So mostly we will play with the depth of field tomorrow. And again, besides all these camera settings, we have to keep our senses active, eyes open, and observe the things, whatever things happening around us. And wherever we find interesting movement, we have to capture, we have to share between us. And I'll take photos and share example with you. I'll ask you to try to create the similar frame with your camera and lens. So that's how actually that's my style or the way of teaching, that I will take a photo, I'll tell you to create the similar frame. If you are able to create the similar frame which you never have achieved before, that will be kind of instant confidence you will get. So that's my motive in all the workshops, that how can I motivate someone to see some results which they never achieved in past. For me, that's the motivation factor for everyone. When they are doing something or achieving something which they never done before, or they think that they don't have that much, we can say, ability or the good quality equipments. If we talk about a lot of equipment, so it's nothing about equipments. There is a famous quote also that best we can say the equipment or the medium to photograph is the photographer, not the camera.
Right.
Yeah, we can have the best possible camera in the world, but if we don't know how to use it well, and we are not following some basic rules for photography, then we may see that we are not getting that good quality, even if it's the best possible camera we have. So all these things we'll discuss in lot details. Tomorrow I'm going to carry this my keynotes. So in the keynotes, I mentioned a lot of things about what is street photography and what are the, we can say that standard camera settings we have to follow, and some special tips for street photography, that how we have to interact with strangers and how we have to start our street photography when we are going in any new place, how we have to deal with the strangers. All these things, some awkward situations. Like most people join street photography just to overcome the hesitation of meeting strangers. So when we are going in,
that's my
so most of the time, even when I came to Pune, the first time when I asked my office colleague, because I don't know Marathi, so that's was the big barrier for me to interact with the local people if you don't know the local language. So I asked my office colleague, please give me a company, come with me, I will go there, I'll roam around, I'll give you a party and all. Just stay with me. So there was very funny incident happened. One of the old guy on the street, he was making fun of me, but in a serious tone. I thought he got angry with me, but my friend was laughing because he knew that he is making fun of you, and he is not angry, but he is talking you in a way that you will scare. He's trying to scare you. So it can happen. So with time, I understand that even if we have some serious discussion or someone is not liking that, we have to avoid all those encounters. We are not on the
just
street
have to walk away.
argue. Yeah, we are not on the streets to argue with someone or to justify to anyone else. We are on the street to capture good moments, to show our artistic way of capturing street moments. That's our whole motive. So if you see my street photo gallery, most of the time you will observe that my angle and how I compose the photos, I'll try to add some artistic touch in all those compositions. So everyone have their own point of view, and it's nothing like that someone is always better or someone is not always better. Nothing like that. We all have our good point of view. Maybe some things which you feel that is really looking good, maybe someone else not noticing that. It doesn't matter unless you are confident that you got what you want to show. So whatever photo we are capturing, we have to convey the feel. If we are able to convey the feel, we have to convey the emotions around that. So that's the target achieved. So only keep it to that level only.
So ready for the challenge.
Yeah, we will enjoy. So it's a kind of addiction. Doing street photography, it's really addictive at times. If someone doing street photography on regular intervals, they'll be different person altogether. I am in personal life, I'm really shy. I really avoid talking strangers. But when I go to street with the camera, I know I'm different personality. I have to interact with the strangers, because the more you interact with the strangers, you will develop your second nature.
Yeah.
And street photographers always have their second nature, where they are more talkative, they are more easy to get gel with the other people. So all these things, qualities will come automatically. If someone very shy, they should join street photography. Yeah. Anything else?
Nothing from me.
Sami, you are quiet.
Good at my end.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah, nothing
Rishikesh?
from my side as well. Thank you.
Rishikesh, you were asking something.
No, I'm good. In fact, I resonate well with you. As an individual, I'm an introvert. And I'm working on 3 grounds.
You're on mute,
Okay,
actually.
the one ground is up. You are able to hear me?
Yeah, yes, I can hear. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, you are not on mute. I can hear.
Okay. So I'm working on 3. Yeah. So I'm working on 3 grounds. Okay. Yes, I'm an introvert. I'm an HR guy. I have to interact with people. At times, I have to manage their emotions. For the last 15-20 years, I've been doing that. But I think my creative side has gone really down. And then I said photography is one expression that I can bring in. So physically, I'm doing my own stuff. I do boxing in a way. Then professionally, I'm an HR guy. But the other side, creative side, is very suppressed. Yes, and I am it becomes very difficult for me to talk to strangers, and that's why I said, okay, let me pick up the toughest, photography genre, and it was street photography. And I said, what more could be tough? Then 28mm came into picture. I said, okay,
Yes.
This is what I'm going to push myself to.
It will further
So,
make your at extreme level.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm trying to push myself. I think I have gained some confidence, but like I said, in terms of contrast, in terms of framing, I would call myself a bit novice. I want to master it, and probably over the next 5 years, maybe develop my own style, and then start doing something at a personal level, but of a professional quality. That is my aim.
My always ask, or when I see my participants, if someone tell me that I'm doing this only just as a hobby, so I always tell them that you have a very expensive device with you. You are investing your time. You are learning a skill. So don't say just a hobby. Just make it as a serious passion. If not that a profession, just call it as a serious profession. So you have to give your whole heart to get your best out of it.
Yeah.
Don't say like that you are just doing as a hobby. Then it means you're not justifying. And whatever the skills you are learning, you are keeping it at the par. So you are just making a par that you will not go beyond that. So don't limit yourself. You never know that a skill can take you many miles. So never underestimate a skill, and try to be at the best. So whatever the best, your best, try to achieve that level, that this is my best and I can keep improving. So learning never ends. So we can keep learn in whole life. No one can say that they have learned and they don't want to know anything further. Nothing like that. We'll keep learning.
Yeah, this is a skill that I want, I'm super invested in it.
Yeah. And just for all your knowledge, I'm from IT background. And last 1.5 year, I'm doing this US shift, graveyard shift. So in weekends, I'm doing all this.
Okay.
So for me, it becomes we can say the double challenge to make myself more active in the weekend, in the day, and keep myself active in the night during weekday. So I have to switch my gears in just a matter of a Friday night.
The good part is you're contributing so much to the society as well, right? learners like us.
I feel really that's the only motivation factor for me, that when I feel someone is
Yeah,
really learning, and when they say that they never captured such photos before, and this is the first time they are feeling confident with their camera, so that's the only motivation factor for me. Even Sami experienced in the nature photography. Initially, he was struggling. Then he realized that he can also capture some good quality photos in the nature.
Yes, indeed.
interesting.
Okay. Then you all know about the location. I already shared the Google Map link, so everyone
Right,
know about
right.
the location. So try to reach by 6:30, because 6:45 is our group assembly, and 7 o'clock at the latest. So I'll wait till
Okay.
7 only. 7 o'clock I will start. If someone got delay or for any reason, they have to follow our live location. I will share the live location.
Yeah.
Because every minute counts in the morning. Usually earlier I start this street photography workshop at 6:30, but for starting at 6:30, for some it becomes quite hectic or not practical, because to start at 6:30 they have to be at least reach there by 6. So just for them I gave liberty of 30 minutes, but 7 o'clock at least, and on the dot we have to start. So try to reach there. Give a target of 6:30 and try to reach there by 6:45 at the latest. So even if you face any traffic or other situation, try to reach there by 6:45.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. And I'll do my best. Tomorrow for the parking, yes, this is a big question, because earlier they used to open the door at 6:30 on the for Shaniwar Wada, so I can easily park my car there. But in previous workshop, I faced some problem there, because they were not allowing any car parking until 8 o'clock in the morning. So if someone coming in a two-wheeler, they can easily park two-wheeler. But
So
four-wheeler,
the parking is in Shaniwar Wada.
yeah, in Shaniwar Wada only. I shared one photo also of that
Okay.
Shaniwar. So there is a common parking. We can park, but earlier they used to open that parking at 6:30, but now they are opening at 8 o'clock only. So someone coming in a four-wheeler, they have option to park somewhere in the pay and park. Options are there even at the Monday market also, but that open at 7:30, not before 7:30. And it will really affect overall proceeding, because you can't be in the group. You have to go there and park your vehicle. So better to come in a two-wheeler or in a we can say that cab or taxi. That would be the best option. Either come in a two-wheeler or in a cab. Tomorrow, first time I will be coming in a two-wheeler. I don't know. That will be my first experience in Pune to drive with a two-wheeler in that long. I'll see. Okay.
Yeah.
So any
Yeah.
other?
Yep.
Few minutes left. Any other question? If
So
nothing,
usually
I'm good. I'm good.
great. Yeah. Yes, Amod.
Yeah, do we shoot like usually in manual mode or aperture priority as well?
Yeah, that's a good question. My favorite is manual only because I feel more confident with the manual mode. But we can start with the semi modes also, like aperture priority, shutter priority. Even in street photography, I have a keynotes where I say that we can be on the aperture priority. But again, aperture priority, when I say it take we can say assumption that we are carrying a 35 mm lens. If we are in 35 mm lens, we may be able to work with the aperture priority, but with other lenses like 50 mm or bigger lenses, we may struggle because they are not ideal for low light. If your lens is not supporting 2.8, 1.8, so someone with the lens like f4, f5, they may struggle with in low light. So they are not ideal for low light conditions. So it's like that. Okay, then we will meet tomorrow in the morning. Try to be on time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, see you
Thanks.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.